Hello, and thank you for tuning in to In the Loop today. My name is Kyler Drake, and I'm joined here with the Southeastern esports coordinator, Mr. Stephen Harris. Stephen, it's a pleasure to have you today on the program. Can you just give us a quick overview as to your position and what you do for Southeastern esports?
Yeah, so for Southeastern Esports, I help coordinate and run all of our teams and games and players. I do everything from recruiting new freshmen as fall 2025. We are looking at right now today about 15 new freshmen coming in, so that's exciting, and that takes a lot of time. So I recruit all the new players, but also help manage all of our teams. And so, we play in 2 different leagues. Rocket League plays in 3 different leagues specifically, but mainly 2 big leagues, and someone's got to be there making sure all of our teams know what's going on, know what's happening, and also help organize our casters every week, make sure they're all on the same page, and just make sure the whole program is moving together forward as one unit versus a bunch of individual clubs or different players or different teams kind of doing their own thing. Make sure everyone kind of has the same vision and same focus.
Okay, cool. And what do you say would be your biggest inspiration for getting in this line of work?
Well, that's a hard one. The biggest thing for me as we were looking at the esports program and as we were moving forward with creating it and building it was this segment of individuals on campus who didn't go to, they didn't participate in fraternities, they didn't participate in sororities, they didn't participate in other clubs or organizations on campus. They went back to their room and they played video games by themselves. And so a huge motivation for me was let's find these individuals on campus and give them a place to plug into, give them something to be a part of, give them something to strive together and build a team and have community and find other individuals that have that same interest and that same like. And that has continued to push us into where we are today.
Yeah.
It started out a lot smaller and actually just one team 3 years ago, and now this semester we're currently at 38 students in the program.
Oh, wow. So the growth has definitely came a very long way. Can you describe that growth a little bit and how y'all were able to put on these events and get more people involved?
Yeah, so the growth started really slow, and it started with Southeastern students. First, we created the one team. All the students were already here at Southeastern taking classes and playing the games. And so they just came together, and we played a tournament together as a team, and then we played a season together as a team, and then we brought in other Southeastern students to join a part of that. And then we actually have now migrated to the point that we're bringing in new freshmen to join us as part of the program. It's not just Southeastern students anymore who are already attending and already here, and then just, we have teams, let me hop in and join that I'm already at Southeastern. Now we're bringing in full new students who are coming to Southeastern for the intent and purpose of being a part of our esports program. Kyler, you were actually the first person we ever signed, which you had a lot of interest in Southeastern, and
I definitely did.
Contributing factor.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And now we've gotten to the point that we're even competing with other esports programs for students who are fully dedicated to playing the game, and they just don't know where, and we're actually bringing a lot of those students to be a part of our program.
Awesome. And where do you see the future of the esports program going, but mainly in relation to student engagement, but more importantly, education? I know that there's a big deal about esports becoming in academia, so if you could just...
Yeah, so there's a lot of variety of options, and it kind of depends on what Southeastern really wants to do with it. I can't assist a whole bunch in that realm, as I don't have a master's yet, and I don't teach, and I don't organize those classes and everything, but there's a huge possibility, just like we see for traditional sports. Southeastern has a large kinesiology program and a lot of sports classes and a lot of coaching classes and a lot of health and management classes, training classes, and so esports can fall into that exact same category. A lot of those classes can be altered and shifted to fit the esports realm, because although we want to we want to weight train and we want to exercise, and cardio, it's going to look a little different than traditional sports weight training does. Just like weight training for football looks different for basketball and looks different for track and field. All those weight trainings are different because you want to focus on different muscles. The same is true for esports. And so those classes that we already have can be shifted a little bit, or maybe have segments for esports or brand new classes, and you could run full new programs specific towards esports, because it's similar, but it is quite vastly different. And that even plays into, in the fall, we're looking at starting with our master's program in psychology we are going to implement performance psychology with our esports program. So our graduate level students here at Southeastern who are in the psychology program are going to be able to meet with our esports players and do performance psychology with them to help them
Wow,
manage.
interesting.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. I think the mental side of esports has higher stakes than it does in traditional sports. In traditional sports, if you get mad or angry or frustrated, football, you just hit somebody, right?
Yeah.
And that helps relieve some of that stress. The problem with esports, whenever you're trying to come to manage that stress, it's really difficult to manage it in the moment when you can't just run into somebody really hard. You have to figure out what tools do you have in your belt to help you get over that bad play you made or that mistake and move on to the next play, especially in esports because it's really fast, it's really rapid. In basketball, maybe you have a timeout, or maybe before in football you're between plays, and that could be up to 30 seconds even sometimes between downs. But in esports you have usually 5 seconds, maybe. I mean, from Rocket League experience, after you make a goal, you've got 3 seconds.
Yeah, you gotta go.
To kind of reset. And so the mental side of esports plays a large role in them being able to reset and stay focused and stay in the game and not get too emotional or caught up in some mistakes that they make. And so the implication in academia is large and vast.
Yeah,
large and
definitely.
vast both.
Alrighty, well, there you guys have it. Once again, my name is Kyler Drake. Stephen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us today. Stay curious, stay connected, and always remember to stay in the loop.
Stay in the loop.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah,
I like
just
that.